Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Tonight, a life-threatening and brutal Arctic blast of cold air and strong winds are sending temperatures plunging for tens of millions of Americans. We've got our forecast tonight in just a moment. Plus, the other big story tonight, that Marine veteran working as an American aid worker killed in Ukraine in an ambulance while trying to help civilians. Well, tonight, we speak with his widow about his heroic actions as Russian missiles rain down. But first, all eyes on the sky tonight, tracking that Chinese balloon as there are new questions about what the Chinese are spying on. The White House tonight saying it is keeping all options on the table. The Pentagon saying today they don't believe there are any weapons on board. And yet this is another hit to the already strained relationship between the U.S. and China. And now America's top diplomat is postponing a high-profile trip to Beijing just this weekend. We have all angles of this story covered, beginning with CBS's David Martin from the Pentagon.
The Chinese balloon is enormous, carrying a payload of cameras and antennas as big as 2 or 3 school buses. It is powered by solar panels and steered by a rudder as the prevailing winds push it eastward across the United States at an altitude of 60,000 feet. China says it's simply a weather balloon that lost its way, but U.S. officials don't believe it.
The fact is, we know that it's a surveillance balloon.
And the reason Secretary of State Blinken canceled his trip to meet with China's President Xi.
I made clear that the presence of this surveillance balloon in U.S. airspace is a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty and international law, that it's an irresponsible act.
It came over the Aleutian Islands and Canada and passed over Montana, where intercontinental ballistic missiles are based. Today, it was spotted over Missouri, where commercial pilots were warned to be on the lookout.
City Center, good morning, derelict balloon after 11 o'clock. This thing is weird.
Pentagon officials say it carries no weapons and is not likely to pick up any intelligence Chinese satellites haven't already collected in their frequent orbits over the U.S.
Are we certain about that? If we haven't actually captured the asset, if we haven't actually looked at the instrumentation, do we know exactly what we're dealing with?
Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher, chairman of the House Select Committee on China, says the military should have shot it down before it ever reached the lower 48.
We just have to send a signal that violations of our airspace, violations of our sovereignty like this will not be tolerated, and they'll be met with a strong response.
One official told CBS News President Biden initially wanted to shoot it down, but Pentagon leaders said it was too risky.
Any potential debris field would be significant and potentially cause civilian injuries or deaths or significant property damage.
The balloon is expected to be over the U.S. for a few more days and then out over the ocean. That will likely be the best chance to, as one official put it, dispose of it when it's safe. Norah?
All right, David Martin with that new reporting. Thank you very much.